All right, let's get started. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to the Muslim Foster Care Association monthly workshop. Today, we'll be discussing the holiday of Eid al-Adha and how to accommodate your Muslim foster youth during this time. My name is Hawa Abbas, and I am the lead mentor. I work in the Independent Living Foster Youth Mentorship Program alongside Sheikh Ahmed. Sheikh Ahmed is a Muslim foster care community engagement specialist and independent living mentorship program manager. Um, we will be answering all questions at the end, but feel free to have any questions you guys have in the group chat below. And as we mentioned, please go ahead and answer that pre-poll. We will be doing another poll after to see how much you guys learned, and make sure you guys were listening. So with that, I'll go ahead and give it to Sheikh.
Thank you, Hawa. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I see a lot of familiar names. Thank you for joining us again if you haven't before. Welcome. Like Hawa said, feel free to drop any questions you have in the group chat. Any comments, any questions, just feel free to drop it there. And I should be able to see it. If not, Hawa will be assisting me and notify me with those questions. And please also complete the pre-poll if you haven't. If you're just now hopping on, just please complete that. Is that still there, Hawa, the poll?
I believe so. I don't think I can.
Yes,
I'm
it
not.
should be. It should be
Oh,
up on.
Okay, because it disappeared on mine. Just want to make sure.
okay, great.
Okay, thank you guys. All right, so you guys were sent out the email regarding this workshop. This is almost a follow-up, and it's very similar to our previous workshop that we did a couple of months ago regarding Eid al-Fitr, which was a holiday that followed after Ramadan. So again, a lot of you guys are familiar with some of the terms, familiar with the holiday, but just almost like a refresher and maybe give some insight to this upcoming Islamic holiday, which is Eid al-Adha, and how we can support our Muslim youth. So, let's go. All right. I think last time, and this is just, I'm gonna be referencing our previous workshop a lot. Last time we spoke about very briefly about, what to say to your Muslim youth when these holidays come around. And you could drop in the chat if there's something different that you say to them or you mention to them on the day of the holiday. So, how can you acknowledge as a staff member or a case manager or a caseworker, how can you reference this holiday to your youth? What can you say to them on the day of? So what we like to say generally is Eid Mubarak, which simply means blessed Eid is a respectful greeting to your youth that you can say the morning of or even the night before, past midnight if the youth are still up. You can ask some questions like, are you doing anything special for Eid? And as case managers, we do hope that you guys have something planned for them. And as last time we mentioned, you can also ask us as MFCA staff if there's anything that we can do for them or help you plan something for them. You can also let them know wishing you a peaceful and happiness this Eid, and let them know that this time is very important for them and let you guys know if you need anything to support them. Now, this holiday is particularly important because, as you all know, that we only, as Muslims, have two holidays that we celebrate, and both of them are religious holidays. The first one was Eid al-Fitr, which is the one that we celebrated after Ramadan. We were on a call, we spoke about Eid al-Fitr, things to do, don'ts, how can we prepare and celebrate that day with our youth. And the second one is coming up very soon, which is like a month and a half from now on June 6th, which is known as Eid al-Adha. Now, Eid al-Adha is a major spiritual celebration. It involves many things, which include prayer, charity, and reflection. For youth specifically, being recognized during this time can help reduce feelings of isolation and reinforce a sense of dignity and belonging. So we do encourage, case managers to try to prepare for that day. Even in advance, ask the youth if they do want to do anything special for that day. Encourage them to attend the Eid prayer if that's something that they're interested in. Now, I want to, I'm going to be throwing some terms around that are in Arabic, but I'll try my best to kind of translate it or explain it. So the term Eid al-Adha, it literally translates to the festival of sacrifice. And we'll talk about this a little more in depth a couple of slides down, but it is one of the two major Islamic holidays, as mentioned before. Its significance is important because it commemorates the Prophet Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his son in obedience to God. And this is around the timing of the last month of our Islamic lunar calendar, which is the month of Dhul Hijjah, is the last month of our Islamic year. Okay. And this particular month, a major occurrence happens with all Muslims, such as the Hajj pilgrimage, which is the major pilgrimage that Muslims are mandated to do once in their lifetime. And just a note here that this changes every year. It goes back 10 days. So next year might be, it will be 10 days sooner. It won't be around the same date, which is June 6th. Now I'm gonna play this little clip. Will explain the process of Hajj, what it is, what is a major pilgrimage. And again, if you have any questions about this video or the couple of slides, please just drop it in the chat.
Welcome to Easy Mini Lessons. This lesson is about Hajj.
What is Hajj?
Hajj is a pilgrimage, which is a special journey Muslims take to Mecca. It is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, which means it is an important duty for Muslims to complete once in their life. The process is supposed to remind us of the special events that took place in Prophet Ibrahim's life.
When do you do Hajj?
Hajj takes place once in the year and must be performed in the month of Dhul Hijjah, which is the last month of the Islamic calendar. On the 10th day, Muslims around the whole world celebrate this event called Eid al-Adha.
How do you do Hajj?
There are different stages of Hajj. The first is that the pilgrims must wear the correct clothes. Every Muslim, no matter where you come from or how rich or poor you are, we are all equal. Men wear white cloth and women wear fully covered clothing. Next, they pray and circle the Kaaba 7 times. This is called the Tawaf. Near the Kaaba are 2 small hills called Safa and Marwa. Long ago, these small hills were big mountains. The pilgrims must walk between these 2 hills 7 times. After that, everyone goes to a place called Mina, where thousands of pilgrims stay in tents. Next, the pilgrims go to Arafat, where they ask for forgiveness. On the way back, they stop off at Muzdalifah, where they spend the night under the beautiful stars. The next day is back at Mina. Everyone throws stones at 3 large walls called Jamarat. These walls represent Shaitan, and throwing stones at that wall is a sign that Muslims are rejecting Shaitan. The pilgrims then sacrifice an animal to honor Ibrahim alayhi salam's experience and celebrate Eid al-Adha. Finally, the pilgrims return to Mecca and do Tawaf 7 more times to complete their Hajj.
I can't wait to go Hajj.
I hope you enjoyed this lesson about Hajj. Please subscribe to my channel for more easy mini lessons. Thanks for watching.
This was a little cute clip that the team got together. As you guys can see that the process of Hajj is lengthy. It takes, a couple of days for you to complete it. But it does signify a very important milestone for Muslims, those who attend and those who don't attend, because though some Muslims who do not attend, maybe such as myself this year, there is some responsibility on my end to complete some of the processes that occur during Hajj when people do go. So as you guys heard in the video, Hajj is a mandatory pilgrimage that a lot of Muslims who are able to go, they go to Mecca, which is currently in Saudi Arabia. And if they're physically and financially able to do so, they do attend at least one time in their lifetime. This pilgrimage, like any other pilgrimage in other religions and other faiths, It's supposed to spiritually cleanse you, and it is also one of our five pillars of Islam. And is typically the one that people try to attend if they can. If you ask any Muslim, like, hey, what's something that you want to do in your lifetime? Uh, you know, most likely the answer would be to perform Hajj or the major pilgrimage. And this lasts about 5 to 6 days. It includes a lot of rituals that you guys seen in the video, and there's a lot of terms there that I know that you're not familiar with. But you can see that it includes a lot of rituals and things that people must do. Takes quite some time to finish. This is why, if you're able to do it financially and physically, you would do so. Um, Part of the process of Hajj, and we're going to talk about this shortly, is Arafah, and why is it important for your youth? Excuse me. The day of Arafah is a day prior to the day of Eid, or the holiday, the Islamic holiday. And during this day, all the pilgrims gather together on Mount Arafah, which is a hill in Mecca, and they ask God for forgiveness, they reflect, and it's considered the most important day of Hajj. Now, for your Muslim youth who are not obviously attending the pilgrimage, there's something that you can ask them if they may be inclined to do, and that is to fast that day of Arafah. Now, that day of Arafah is significant for all Muslims, especially for those who do not attend. For those who do not attend, they can receive partial reward as if they did complete part of the Hajj itself, or the major pilgrimage. So ask your youth if you have time sometime this week, if they're interested in fasting the day of Arafah, if they know about the day of Arafah, and what can you do as a staff member or a case manager to help them and assist them on fasting that day. I know I spoke with most of you during Ramadan regarding like breaking fast. How can we get food to your youth? So if this is something that you want to do for that day as well, MFCA can help coordinate something like that. But definitely ask them or introduce the topic to them. Just at least they know that you are aware of this Islamic culture and this Islamic obligation. Many of them may not want to fast. Many of them, may want to. It just depends on your youth. So please, introduce the topic to them and let them know if this is something that they may be interested in. And this is extremely highly recommended for non-pilgrims, like I've mentioned. Uh, it's believed to expiate the sins of past and coming year, which is why a lot of the people who aren't doing the pilgrimage itself, they tend to fast. So some staff should be aware that some youth, may choose not to fast on this day, and some may choose to fast. There is similar reward like the month of Ramadan. So again, please introduce this to your youth and see if this is something that they may be interested in. Now, the biggest thing that you may hear on the day of Eid, or the day of this Islamic holiday, is that a lot of Muslims are sacrificing an animal. Similar to Jewish and Christian texts, there is a story behind this, which is the story of Abraham, and how this came about, meaning the sacrifice. So just a little short story. I'm not going to make it long, just to give you guys the main point, is that the prophet Abraham, at one point, he received revelation through his dream, where he was sacrificing his son Ismail, or Ishmael. And this was obviously very heavy on him as a father. So he goes to his son when he reached a certain age, and he says, "Oh son, I saw in my dream that I am sacrificing you, and this is what God has commanded me to do," because in the Muslim faith we believe that dreams for prophets are revelation. So Prophet Abraham goes to his son, he tells him what he saw in his dream, and his son responds to his father saying, "Father, do as you are commanded." And again, this is just a heavy thing to do. No father wants to do this to his son. So Abraham goes with the command of God, and he is prepping for the sacrifice. Now, while the sacrifice was an intention that he made and wanted to complete for the sake of God, this was obviously a sort of test, though it was a command from God. So he faced his son towards the ground, and he was beginning the sacrifice. And at that moment, God has substituted the son Ishmael with a ram or a lamb. And this marks a significant portion of Eid, where we sacrificed lambs or goats or camels, whichever you're able to sacrifice, really highlighting the principle of submission for Muslims, because especially that day, that day the Muslims sacrifice, and this highlights the will of Allah for the Muslims to sacrifice and Muslims to obey. Now, when Abraham submitted to God's will, and at that last moment, God replaced his son with a ram, and Muslims remember this all around the world as they sacrifice sheep, goats, cows, or camel. And as we sacrifice this animal, we are taught, and is part of our deen, to distribute it 1/3 to the family, 1/3 to relatives, and 1/3 to friends. And it is important to kind of note that this day, though the youth may not be sacrificing, we do recommend that they are eating some kind of meal that has meat in it, as it is the sunnah or the practice of Muslims to do so on that day. Because the whole act of sacrificing symbolizes obedience, humility, and charity. So if you are, feeding them some kind of meal with meat and stuff like that, we do ask if you can also include other people. Be charitable with the food if you can. Invite friends or anyone who may want to eat as well.
I was going to include also, Sheikh, if you don't
Yeah.
mind, that in the case that the youth themselves want to donate food to give to other people, like if they can't slaughter the animal themselves, which most of them probably won't be able to, they can donate money to somebody else to do that on their behalf, which then can be distributed to those who need it.
Thank you for that, Hawa. Yes, absolutely. They can definitely donate if they have the means to do so. It just varies. So, but just more importantly, like she said, if they do have the means to do so, donating is definitely one of the things that Muslims practice specifically on that day. Obviously, with your youth, you may have a diverse, youth body. Some may be from South Asia, Middle East, or other countries in Africa. But from what I understand so far, most of the youth are West African. Uh, any mosque you go to, you're gonna witness diversity. Okay, you're gonna witness diversity. You're gonna see a lot of people from the Middle East, different, Arab countries, South Asian countries, and they celebrate it in different ways. So the South Asians, for example, may have dishes like biryani or sheer kurma, which is, both really good. Middle Eastern families, they have their gatherings, prayers, and then they have the qurbani meat. Um, the word qurbani over here is essentially the meat from the sacrifice. And this meat is typically distributed amongst family, friends, and the poor, and those who want, who would like some of that, the sacrificed meat. Different cultures call it different things. South Asians call it qurbani, other cultures, like Arab cultures, call it udhiyah. And you may hear that word here and there if you go to the mosque with your youth. So just, be aware of that word specifically. Countries like Africa, for example, West African countries, they have colorful clothing. So I think this is a good time. I know some of you guys put in requests, for example, for cultural clothing. It will be a good time to ask your youth if they have anything particular that they want to wear to kind of represent their culture, to represent their traditions, what kind of food that they like to eat. On these holidays, food and feasts are a big thing, especially in the morning after prayer. So ask them what food would they like to eat. If there's somewhere that they want to go, do you have the means or even like funds for something like that as an organization? And as always, MFCA, we're more than willing to kind of direct you to establishments that may have or that may reflect, certain cultures, whether that's food, clothing, or anything like that. So try to make that day special for them, especially in the attire that they wear, and the things that they would, most likely eat during those days. Um, Excuse me.
Describe what your eat are. So wearing a Palestinian tool. I got it from a Facebook auntie. Traditional Kurdish clothes. We're from Kurdistan. This is a conga from Zanzibar. This is from Bangladesh. It's kurta from Bangladesh. And it really represents kind of the culture and the artisans.
My outfit is what Buddy got from Nigeria. This is the outfit. It comes in four pieces. The big one is all handmade. And when you wear it, you go like this. And this is where the kings wear.
All of this from Saudi.
Savani jacket, Salarkabi is from Lahore. Got the design over here by Z, which is me.
Indonesia from Stella.
Tajikistan.
This I got it from Nominal.
Went to the Somali mall yesterday, mashallah. It's seafood, Islam, it's mac and soaking.
It's called Bazang. It's from West Africa, so all the West African countries usually Guinea, Senegal, Mali.
I made it in Senegal, and her bag is color and my bag is from Mexico.
Okay, it's Pakistani. Go ahead, Pakistani. I got this, and I just got a simple bracelet. And you got the no socks. No socks. You look done with them.
As you can see, we even have cats dressing up for this day, so I'm sure some of your youth would like to dress up as well. And like I said, if you go to any like local mosque on that day, or any like community organization where they are performing their Eid prayer, you'll see a lot of people dressing up, in many different ways. As you can see in this video, Muslims from all around the world gathered in one place, and they dress differently, but they're for one purpose. So again, if you can accommodate your youth by asking them what would they like to wear, if they have any, personal funds or however the organization does this, they can go out for some cultural clothing. I think it would be a pretty exciting experience for them. And also, I encourage you as case managers to also attend, the local mosque or wherever they are holding the prayer to kind of witness this and hopefully be prepared for, the upcoming year in a similar fashion. And excuse me. Some things to kind of take note of in terms of challenges, both emotional and psychological impact on your youth, whether they're refugee or domestic. We all know that, being away from family is a very difficult thing. It's definitely challenging, especially if they've come alone. So be aware that, that their challenges include separation from family and homeland. And obviously back home, they would celebrate a certain way. They'll be around certain people, family, friends, communities. They also are very limited to engage in traditions or may not be able to afford the celebration. So again, to highlight, if they can afford it or if they have the funds for it, please do whatever you can to make it feel as homey as possible. Past trauma, and displacement are affecting their emotional well-being as well. So definitely check in on them, ask them if they need anything that day, how are they feeling, just simple things. They may feel, grief, loneliness, and cultural disconnect. I do believe, and I'm not sure depending on what city you're in, sometimes there are certain mosques that reflect a certain culture, whether like it's West African, some Bosnian mosques, or some Arab mosques, like where the majority of the population there are from a particular culture. If you're able to find a mosque that reflects, the culture of your youth, please go there. So it could be like a one-stop shop. People are wearing the same clothing, they eat the same food, and it might be beneficial for youth to kind of get a sense of home. For foster parents and case managers, how can you provide support? I know we spoke about this at our last workshop regarding Ramadan and Eid. If you want to put in the chat some things that you did tell your youth last holiday, to celebrate the holiday. What did you tell them? Did you tell them Eid Mubarak? Did you tell them Eid Saeed? What are some things you even said in English to them to show respect and cultural awareness to your youth? Try to participate, share information about local mosques, prayer events, or virtual services. As we mentioned before, we are more than happy to direct you to any event or any mosque that are going to hold these prayers. Staff, I know sometimes staff don't work the weekends or they come in at a certain time. So if you guys can allow flexibility when it comes to scheduling or for staff coming in at a certain day to help the youth go to the mosque, that would be great. It's Does it fall on a weekend? No, it falls on a Friday. This holiday, this Islamic holiday falls on a Friday. So depending on the staff schedule, if you guys can find flexibility on attending the local mosque or event, that will be great for the youth, and I'm sure they'll be very happy to attend. Connect with any resources that you may have. Locate halal restaurants. I know I've emailed some of you some halal restaurants, and you've emailed me the same about new restaurants that opened. So locate some halal food, some halal restaurants, or any qurbani services, any areas that they are offering meat, because you may be eligible, the youth may be eligible to receive some of this halal meat, and they may receive also Eid packages. Also check in on your youth emotionally. Check with the youth around this time, see if they're doing all right, see if they need anything. Provide any cultural counseling, and search for options, for that support if needed. Some do's and don'ts would be, something like this right now, educating yourselves on the holiday itself and its importance. Respect the privacy of some of the youth. Some of them may not want to celebrate the holiday, and some of them will want to. But uh, if they express that they want to attend the mosque and attend the prayer, please, obviously accommodate them. If some of them do not, like I said, not everyone celebrates the same way, but just, a general sense to see who wants to attend and hopefully be proactive in that. Some don't assume all of them celebrate the same way. I know that's some mistakes that, I've made in the past, that we all celebrate this holiday the same way, which we don't. Some may attend prayer later, some may attend sooner, some may not do it at all. Uh, please do not minimize the importance of the holiday by brushing it off and by not bringing it to their attention. This is still an important holiday for all Muslims, but to be on the safe side, just bring it up. Any major obligations or transitions during Eid days, or plan any major obligations or transitions during Eid days without consultation. So again, just be mindful of the day, be mindful of the youth, be mindful of the celebrations and accommodations for your youth that day. It will go a long way. Here are some other resources. You have the Islamic Relief USA. You can go on their website to get some information on any support that you may need. Council on American Islamic Relief. I put the links here, and I think I'll share in the chat. However, if you can share on the chat, so they can click. I don't think we put in the chat.
Yes, I can do that.
Please, thank you. And also connect with your local resources. I know a lot of the cities that you're in, you guys have a mosque not so far from you. I think it's about 15 to 20 minutes max. So any local mosques, Islamic centers, or any refugee aid networks that you may have, any organizations that are in your locale, just please reach out to them, and then try to make this day as special as possible for them. And hopefully it will be a fun day for you and your youth. I will take any questions now. You can put it in the chat, but just to conclude, Eid al-Adha, or the Festival of Sacrifice, is obviously an essential part of the Muslim identity and culture, as it's only one of the two holidays that Muslim typically celebrate. Ensure to be thoughtful and recognize this holiday for our youth. Be as sensitive as you can be and support them in their emotional well-being if you can. And I could take any questions. I'll look in the chat. If anyone has any questions or you want to get off mute, you can go ahead and ask.
And we can go ahead and share that pre-poll to see what those results were, and then we'll take the last poll.
Okay. So the post poll is up. If you would like to take a couple of minutes to do this, Again, please drop any questions in the chat or just get off mute and you can definitely ask. The question in the chat, will fasting take place from sunup to sundown? The answer is yes. So it's similar to all types of fasting in Islam. It will be from sunup to sundown. So similar to Ramadan, where they can get up and have the pre-meal where they eat before the morning prayer. Then they continue to fast throughout the day, and then they break fast during or after sunset. So it's typically the same thing. I believe, the local mosque, your local mosque will have time for, the morning prayer as well as the sunset prayer. So you should be able to kind of see when to start fasting and when to break their fast. But good question. I think it's very similar, or it is similar. And anytime the youth want to fast or the staff wants to get involved with the youth fasting, is you follow the same rubric as the month of Ramadan. Thank you for that question, by the way. Also, there's a link in the chat for the cultural clothing. Please, if you haven't, or if I haven't sent it out to you via email, it's in the chat. This is specifically for youth who are requesting cultural clothing. Where there's Islamic garb for both male and female. So you could go ahead and find it in the chat. Also, it was brought to my attention that some local mosques will offer, break fast for those who are fasting on the day of Arafah, which will be June 5th, which is a day before before the holiday itself. So some of your local mosques may be able to, or they may be providing break fast. So you can definitely reach out to them and see if they're doing so, and if the youth are interested in attending to break fast at their local mosque.
Okay, could we go ahead and share those post-survey results?
I still see it up, Hawa.
Okay.
Yeah. Was there a time on the poll? Can't see it.
No, it's sharing the results now.
Also, one more thing. I don't know if when your youth finish school for this academic year, Being that it falls on June 6th, I know over here we finished June 10th, but if the school has, if your youth have school that day, they may need to request the day off or at least like a portion of the morning if they still want to attend for the rest of the day. So maybe this is something you can also take note of on that day, June 6th, with it, which is a Friday. See if they can take off either the day or take off a portion of the morning for them to attend morning prayer. So I'm not sure that they'll be, or high schools over there will be out, but if they aren't, please request for the morning portion of the day for them to attend the prayer. And if they want to kind of be out for Eid all day, they definitely can, but just request from the school and just take note of it and let the school know and your youth know as well.
For anyone who's still unfamiliar, please feel free to ask. I see here that there's one person who selected not familiar at all. Maybe you joined us a little late, but if you do want to DM us privately, we can answer any questions you might have. And I believe there was one more slide, Sheikh, on
Oh, sorry guys, forgot about this. This is the most important part. Um, we haven't sent out a form, well, we sent out some emails regarding Eid al-Adha family picnic. So this will be a picnic for, the youth, staff members, case managers, everyone to attend. Please, this will be a fun day for your youth to join us here at the Kensington Park. So please join us for that day. It'll be Saturday, June 15th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. There'll be lots of food, activities, and definitely some games that we can all partake in. I think this will be fun for the youth in particular, getting all together. It's a really nice space. It will be fun. If you can, Howard, can you copy and paste that link right there and put it in the chat?
I've already put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Yes, please share this with the rest of the staff. Share this with anyone who hasn't been able to attend today or any other organizations that haven't attended. And please join us on June 15th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you for reminding me, Hawa. I definitely forgot about this. And as a reminder, the link to this workshop will be on our YouTube channel by the end of the week. So if you need to reference anything, you can definitely go check out our YouTube channel and watch the videos again. For those of you, or for the staff who did not attend or who couldn't attend, they can also rewatch this workshop. And if there's any questions, comments, we can definitely leave it at this. And I thank you all for showing up again. For those who attended the last workshop and for those of you who are new, thank you for attending. I will also include my email in the chat just in case any of you guys have questions in terms of support for your youth. Also, I should have mentioned this earlier, for your youth in particular, I do have Mondays and Wednesdays as virtual office hours between 1 and 2 p.m. If you are interested in any support for your youth, you can please email me. I'm going to put it in the chat. Oh, thank you, Hua. Oh, Shireen, faster than me. So that's my email, and that's the organization's email. So please email us at any point if you have any questions, comments, corrections, suggestions, and if you need support for your youth. Again, I have a virtual office hours Mondays and Wednesdays. That is 1 to 2 p.m. That is 1 to 2 p.m. All right, thank you all. Thank you all. You guys have a good day. How you could leave this chat box up a little bit if anyone needs to copy and paste the email.